love coming home after working all day, sitting down, starting up my Xbox, seeing friends online playing a fun game that I enjoy, inviting them to a party, getting on there and playing games. Why the hell can't I do that on my Nintendo Switch? It's a pretty sad fact that the minute Nintendo talked about their online service for the Switch, everybody knew it was going to be an absolute shit show. As soon as they said that there was going to be a phone app involved that was a necessity, people already had a really poor opinion of how the online service was going to be. But there was a small group of people out there that had hoped that over time, Nintendo would see the negative feedback and maybe, as time went on, update their online service and make it better over time. Now, that was a very small group of people. Most people knew that Nintendo wasn't going to touch this shit at all after they did it. They would do it, leave it the way it was, people would hate it, and that's the end of story. And guess what? That's exactly what they did. The Switch has been out for 4 years, and for 4 years, the online service has languished in this absolutely deplorable state. It's terrible. Honestly, I would love to know what the dev team at Nintendo was thinking when they dreamt up the online service. It's like they consulted the magic fucking conch. Oh, magic conch shell, what do we do about party invitations and game invites?
Nothing.
The shell has spoken!
Seriously, I don't understand. I don't understand how Nintendo Switch Online doesn't have one of the most common features of any of the other online services. Sony, Microsoft, they both have these basic services in their online, and yet Nintendo chooses to not do either of these things for some strange reason. Now, I understand that you can invite people if the game has it within itself. So games like Fortnite and whatever, Apex Legends, I guess, any of these games have an internal system where you can invite people to your party and you can play the games that you want. Well, that's well and good. But you know what games don't have those things? Any fucking Nintendo game doesn't have those things. Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., Mario Party, whatever game you're playing online nowadays does not have that in it. So if you want to play games with your friends, you may as well be in a room with soundproof glass where they cannot see you, because that's all you can do is look at their name online and go, wow, I wish I could play that with my friend. Now sure, you could text people, whatever, contact them in some way, shape, or form and be like, hey, you want to play this game with me? Sure, but that's the thing. I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to get on my Switch, hit an invite button, and click someone's name and be able to invite them to a game, so that way we can play a goddamn game together. I shouldn't have to go out on my front lawn and make a giant SOS just to play a fucking game on the Nintendo Switch with some friends of mine. Because that's the other thing it doesn't take into account, is the fact that not all of my friends are friends in real life that I can just send a text message to, like, hey, do you want to play this game? You know, whatever. Some of these people that I'm friends with, I've met over Discord or through my YouTube channel. And I don't have any other ways to contact them aside from Discord or what have you. And sometimes when you message people, they're not on Discord, so they can't really get your message. Even though they're sitting there playing Super Smash Bros. On their Switch, I can't actually invite them to a game of Super Smash Bros. On my goddamn Switch, because there is no invitation system. Hell, the Wii U had the ability for me to send, like, a message to someone with my little stylus and type out, do you want to play a game? And then send it to them. Then, like, the Wii U had a better online system than the goddamn Nintendo Switch. Come to think of it, the Wii U had native voice chat on the goddamn thing. At least I could plug in my headphones on my giant Wii U tablet and talk to people. I didn't have to reach for my goddamn cell phone and go through a bunch of shit just to talk to someone in the game that I want to play. Hell, at this rate, I'd rather have Miiverse back, Nintendo. Give me back Miiverse. Does the Switch online service have anything good going for it? Well, it's cheap. It's definitely the cheapest of the three, so that's really nice. But I suppose you get what you pay for in that regard, I guess. Having NES and SNES games on there to play is fun, I suppose. But it's starting to look a lot worse when you look at something like Microsoft Game Pass. I have Game Pass on my Xbox, and let me tell you what, that alone makes the Switch's online look like a joke. The fact that I have modern games and Xbox exclusives on day one that I can play is just absolutely incredible. And it honestly just really makes Nintendo's service with the SNES and NES games look even more pitiful. I mean, we don't even have N64 games on the online service. And the NES and SNES games libraries are still sorely lacking some incredible games that still have yet to show up. That's the craziest thing about it. if Nintendo actually went ahead and made something to rival Game Pass, something that had NES games, SNES games, N64, GameCube, and Wii games, okay, and had entire libraries of these games, it could absolutely easily rival the Game Pass, because Nintendo has one of the greatest libraries of IPs of all the systems. They have incredible games, an incredible backlog, and being able to play all those games for one payment for the online service would be absolutely insane. It would easily rival the Game Pass even without having modern games. Now, if Nintendo somehow managed to do that, plus get modern games on it similar to Game Pass, now that would be something insane. But I don't picture Nintendo doing anything like that. That's a pipe dream. But still, even if they just had their older titles that you could just go back and play like that, it would be unbeatable. It would be incredible. But the funniest part about it is that one of the few games Nintendo did have on the online service that was really good and really made the online service unique, Mario 35, it's dead now. They fucking killed it. They killed Mario 35. They took away one of the few things that made their online service unique, just like that, which is just goes back to more stupidity on their part. I don't understand. It's baffling. It really is just absolutely baffling. And I'm not really going to get into all the lag issues and the problems with connections and stuff like that. That's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother can of worms. The fact that I see YouTube videos go up with Nintendo Switch games having to show and prove how good or bad a game is when it runs online on the Switch just says it all. That right there just reveals how absolutely pitiful the online service is for the Nintendo Switch. It's terrible. And the worst part about it is that I love my Nintendo Switch, and I know a lot of people love the Switch. It's a phenomenal system. It's absolutely incredible, which is why it's so mind-blowing to me that Nintendo would allow it to have such a goddamn Achilles heel with the online. The online service is the one thing that holds the Switch back. It's the one thing that really just kills it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, a lot of Nintendo, white knights and defenders that'll just throw themselves on the hill and die for anything with Nintendo and say, well, if you don't like the online service, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to play games online. Well, I kind of do if I want to play games online, which I do want to play games online. I would like to play Monster Hunter Rise online. I want to play Smash online despite the lag, or Mario Kart, or any of these games. Because, believe it or not, I enjoy playing games online with my friends. So yeah, I do have to pay for it. Nintendo just makes it really hard for me to justify what I'm paying for. And all I'm asking for is for them to fix it. Improve it. That's all. Nintendo doing any of these things, these little quality of life things, will just make it better. And I can't really see why anybody would think that this is a bad thing. Why anybody would think that people criticizing the online service is anything negative. Because if anything, it needs to be done more. People need to say something and complain. Because Nintendo needs to get it through their heads that this is not great. It's not that good, and something needs to change. So, that's what I'm saying. People just need to come together and start telling Nintendo that this shit is not good, and they really need to improve this. I'm really excited about all these Switch Pro rumors, like everything sounds really cool. But if we're going to go into the Switch Pro with the same shitty online service that we have now for the regular Switch, it kind of kills it a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. It really does. Because the online is seriously the biggest weakness of the Nintendo Switch. It is just a huge negative with very few positives going in its favor. Again, yes, NES games and NES games, that's great. But honestly, it needs more than that. It needs more than that. Especially when you look at Sony and Microsoft, what they offer. The Nintendo Switch Online needs to be a little bit more robust. It needs more features. It needs more games. And the thing is this isn't year one for the Switch. We're done. We're past that. This is year 4. Nintendo has had 4 years to improve this, and they still have yet to move on it. And I get the argument about how old school and traditionalist Nintendo is. Okay, yeah, that's great and all, but they figured DLC out, didn't they? They figured a way to do that, so if they can figure out DLC to make you pay more money for their games, they can figure out how to do a proper online infrastructure for their gaming network. Just saying. But anyway, this video was a little ranty. It was me bitching. you know, I put out these kinds of videos from time to time. But, you know, what do you guys think of the Switch Online service? I mean, do you love it? I don't know who would, but hey, you never know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? You know, what do you want to see change? What improvements do you want to see Nintendo make to it? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like. That really helps out the channel. If you really like this video, feel free to subscribe. I put out gaming videos every other week. I mostly talk about Nintendo, but I like to talk about any games that really pique my interest, be them from Microsoft or Sony, whatever. I just like talking about video games. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell icon so that way you do know when I upload. My uploading schedule is a little erratic. I upload frequently, but I don't upload as regularly as I used to, just because, you know, life gets in the way and things get a little crazy. And YouTube is more of a hobby than a job, so I don't really have all the time in the world to put content out right away, but I'm trying. As mentioned earlier, I do have a Discord chat if you like video games, comic books, tabletop games, any of that stuff. We talk about all of it in my Discord chat. We're still a small Discord chat, but we're slowly growing. Great community of people. We all have phenomenal folks in there, so if you feel like joining because you want to have some fun conversations, I'll have a link down in the description below. At the end of all my videos, I always like to thank everybody who's subscribing, everybody who's watching. I have to say that I recently just had a large influx of subscribers. I mean, huge in the past, like, week. I had a big boost, and I am just absolutely floored. I don't even know what to say. I can't even think of the words, honestly. It's incredible, and I can't thank you guys enough, honestly. I just hope I can put content out that everybody enjoys, and I hope that as my subscriber count goes up, I can keep making fun videos for everyone. I mean, you really don't have any idea how much it means to me. It really does mean a lot that everybody is watching my stuff. I never dreamed that even 100 people would really care to watch any of my videos. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Be safe out there. And bye-bye.